Welcome to the 2-Pint Software DeployR iPXE Anywhere Installation Guide. In this guide we will be covering the 2-Pint Software 2PXE Server install and the iPXE Anywhere WebService install. There are 3 guides in this series. The DeployR Prerequisites Guide is the first guide in the series. The DeployR iPXE Anywhere Installation Guide is the second guide in the series and is required for PXE booting or the creation of self-signed certificates. The DeployR Installation Guide is the last guide in the series. Complete each guide in sequence before proceeding to the next. If you do not require PXE booting and already have a public or private certificate for the DeployR server, then you may skip this guide and proceed with the DeployR Installation Guide. 2PXE server can be configured for integration with Configuration Manager or for standalone PowerShell integrated installation. This guide will focus on the PowerShell integrated installation using self-signed certificates. Installing 2PXE server and iPXE Anywhere WebService. Before starting, ensure that the prerequisites have been installed. From the Downloads directory, right-click on the 2PXE zip file and select Properties. Click on the Unblock box and then click OK. Repeat for the iPXE Anywhere zip file. Right-click on the iPXE Anywhere zip file again and then select Extract All. Select the extracted directory and then double-click the MSI file to start the installation. Accept the license agreement. For the license, either leave the default selection or enter your license key if you have one. If you do enter a key, make sure it is for the iPXE Anywhere WebService, as the 2PXE server key will not work. Leave HTTPS selected and then click Next. Enter the database server and instance. Leave the default database name. Leave Windows Authentication selected and then click on Test Connection. Leave the default install directory. In Explorer, navigate back to the Downloads directory. Right-click on the 2PXE zip file and then select Extract All. Select the extracted directory and then double-click the MSI file to start the installation. Accept the license agreement. For the license, either leave the default selection or enter your license key if you have one. If you do enter a key, make sure it is for the 2PXE server, as the iPXE Anywhere WebService key will not work. Uncheck the Use boot.di in BootVim. Select the IP version 4 address from the Please Select drop-down. Select the iPXE Anywhere WebService integrated option. Change HTTP to HTTPS and enter the FQDN of the server followed by :8051. Leave Log On as local system account selected. Click on Test Port. Leave the default install directory. Leave the default firewall rules. Blank out the user account name and password. Open the services and verify that the services for both products are running. Both products should be listed in Programs and Features. Import the root CA. Open the local certificate store by running cert lmd msc. Expand Trusted Root Certification. Right-click on Certificates and then select All Tasks Import. Browse to Program Files 2.0 Software 2 PXE x64 and select CA. This will install the certificate under the Trusted Root Certification Authority's certificate store. Generate a FQDN self-signed certificate. This only needs to be done if one was not initially created during the installation. Expand Personal and then select Certificates. Double-click the certificate issued by 2.0 Software. Select the Details tab, scroll down and select Subject Alternative Name. If the DNS name already contains the FQDN name, then skip ahead. If not, proceed by deleting the certificate. In Explorer, navigate to Program Data 2.0 Software 2 PXE certificates. Select all of the files and delete them. Navigate to Program Files 2.0 Software 2 PXE. Shift right-click on the config file and select Copy as path. Open an elevated command prompt. Type Notepad and then paste in the copied path. This will allow the file to be saved once it is modified. Scroll down to the external FQDN override key and enter the FQDN of the server name in the value. Save and close the file. Restart the 2 PXE server service and then check that the new FQDN certificate was generated. Copy the thumbprint of the certificate, avoiding the trailing space. Open the registry and navigate to HKey Local Machine Software 2.0 Software iPXE Anywhere WebService. Enter the thumbprint for the host certificate thumbprint value. Restart the iPXE Anywhere service. From an elevated command prompt, run netsh http show SSL. Each of the port bindings should all show the updated certificate thumbprint. Configure IIS bindings. Open the Internet Information Services Manager. Expand the nodes and select the default website. Select Bindings. Add a new binding for HTTPS and select the certificate with the FQDN. Restart the website. Create the IIS virtual directory. Right-click on Default Website and select Add Virtual Directory. Enter Remote Install for the alias. Browse to Program Data 2.Software 2.PXE Remote Install for the physical path. Note, if you do not see program data, then you will need to enable hidden items in Explorer. Add the IIS MIME types. Run the IIS MIME types PowerShell script that can be found in the 2.PXE server documentation under the configuration section. In IIS Manager, confirm that the MIME types were added. Download and stage the iPXE Anywhere WebService scripts. In the iPXE WebService documentation, there is a link in the install section to the 2.GitHub repository where the scripts can be downloaded. Click on this link. On the GitHub page, click on the green code button. From the drop-down menu, select Download Zip. Once the file is downloaded, unblock the zip file and extract it. In the extracted subfolders, copy the scripts directory to program files 2.Software iPXE Anywhere WS. There are example scripts that can be used for creating custom menus and advanced options. Rename the iPXE boot.ps1 PowerShell script. Open the boot directory. Rename iPXE boot.ps1 to iPXE boot_cm.ps1. Next, rename iPXE boot_DeployR.ps1 to iPXE boot.ps1. Edit the DeployR.ps1 PowerShell script. Open an elevated PowerShell ISE window. Next, open the DeployR script found in Program Files, 2.Software, iPXE Anywhere WS, Scripts, Custom. Edit lines 19 and 20 by changing server.company.com with the fully qualified domain name of your DeployR server. When finished, save the script. Thank you for watching the DeployR iPXE Anywhere installation guide. You are now ready for the DeployR installation guide. If you have any questions or issues, feel free to reach out to us.